Hey. I don't know how I'm going to get this to you, but I have some bad news. And if you're invested in American stocks right now, if you're invested in Aussie stocks right now, I think you should really listen to this message. And now I don't want to be over dramatic, but one of the things that I have been doing for several years now is producing forecasts for the year ahead, and just using these personally and also professionally. But one of the forecasts that I've been watching now is about to expire, and I want to give you a look at this forecast so that you can potentially plan ahead. Now, the best thing about these forecasts is that nothing is certain. The market can do whatever it wants. But if this could save you, then I think this message is important. But I don't want you to act without first getting confirmation from the market, because that could be detrimental to your financial future. So, with that said, here's one thing that I want to tell you. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not licensed at all. So anything I tell you today is going to be educational and entertainment purposes only. And please, whatever I say, you're going to lose money in the market. You're going to make money in the market. Don't listen to anything I say. If you want to make any decisions, please go see a registered financial advisor before you do anything. And always fact check me. I'm not always going to be right. And I have a lot of words coming in my mouth like I do right now. It's just human nature, we talk. So go ahead and fact check everything I say. But one thing I want to do is I want to show you this chart, because as I said, if you're invested in the markets right now, this chart that I got on my computer screen, which I'm going to flip to very, very shortly, could save you. So let's go ahead and take a look at the screen. Now, what you can see on your screen right now is a chart of 2021, specifically for the Dow Jones. Now, go ahead and ignore the top panels. That's just some research I do. It does say DJI 2020. I'll show you why in a second. But the forecast that I have for 2021, which, could be playing out, it may never play out, we never know. It is signaling that any moment now within the next, could be 20 to 30 days, the US market in particular is going to peak, and we could see falling prices till around August to September. Now, the fall here is quite dramatic in the forecast, and the forecast does not determine price. So it only determines angle, which means that we might get a decline to that sort of shape, but it might not be to that specific price level that it's forecasting. Now, obviously, we have a base of 30,000 if you look at the right-hand side, and we have a high of around 34,000. So as we can see, this move in the forecast is not price-based. And I just want to reiterate again, it is not price-based, angle-based. So how do we use it? Well, first is that we want to be looking for direction. Now, what we can see here is we have a direction of the market moving higher, and I'll go ahead and show you. We have the orange line, which is the forecast, moving higher with some falling markets, because nothing ever runs up in a straight line. And then we have it peaking in May, and then we have it declining in June, peaking in August, or July to August, declining into August, another bottom in September, and then a rally into the end of the year. Now, one thing to note is that the rally, in this case, the end of the rally, is sort of, if we go left, it's only slightly above where it started at the beginning of the year. Now, that means if this forecast is going to be of any significance and any accuracy, it tells us that the current market rally that we're seeing in the US, where we've gone from roughly 3,000 points to 3,400, we could potentially see the market decline and end back around maybe the 3,100 points. So that's just an idea and a hypothesis. There's nothing certain. But the reason why I want to show you this forecast, and I wanted to do it now, is because we could be nearing the end. Now, I don't want to talk too much about this. What I want to do is show you some proof. So we used this exact same forecast last year. So if I go ahead and move this from 2021 to 2020, and then I move my screen, we use this forecast to predict in advance, or I should say forecast in advance, a major decline in asset prices. And I'll go ahead and show you another year soon, so don't worry about that. Now, we actually overlaid two forecasts, but the first thing that I want you to know is that at least down the bottom of this forecast, we were definitely expecting a decline in the first quarter with a low in March. And then if I go ahead and repeat this, we're expecting, so we have a top here and a top here in the forecast, and what we got in the market was a top. Another thing we were watching for is a top in September time. So we had pretty much a top here in both the forecasts, and then we had a top in the actual market. So remember, the blue line and the yellow line is the forecast, with the black line actually being the real price. And then the declines of the forecast suggested lowering prices until October. We had two curves. Now, as I said, the curves tell us which way the market is likely to go. It's either up or down, right? But the actual price level is to be seen. So the yellow line suggested another sharp sell-off like we had at the beginning of the year, where the blue forecast was sort of like in a bounce, okay? And then both of them, well, they both ended with a year-end rally. That is the key. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for price. We're just looking for direction. Now, if we go back to 2019, just to give you another idea, if I move all these, well, we have a similar thing happen, so I can line all these up. We use two forecasts in the 2019 period as well. And the reason why we use two and not just one is because we want to see where past history is repeating again, and we sort of line up a few forecasts to get an angle or a curve, and then we sort of analyze that curve to see what could be happening. So if we move back in time, we can see that in this instance, it's not so clear cut, but we were looking for tops in the forecasts to occur here. The market was a little early than the forecast. We were looking for tops around here. Again, looking for angles, and we're not looking for our price. And then we had another top, which was to occur around this period. And then we can see the market topped out and fell over. And then you can clearly see the two of them were rallying quite hard into the end of the year. So we're not looking for perfection, we're looking for our best fit. And that is why when we take a look at our 2021 forecast, I am putting out the alert that we could be on the cusp of a downturn in the markets. Now, don't go ahead and sell everything. Use this as a glimpse into what may happen and not something that's guaranteed, okay? So that's what I want to leave with that. I just wanted this to be quick, short, straight to the point, and potentially and quite possibly very helpful to your financial needs. So remember, name's Jonathan. I'll go ahead and cut this video now. Take a look at the forecast that's on your screen and just keep it in mind for as we move forward over the next month of what may be on the cards. See you next time.